Hey, Shalom, Akim. It's your brother Ratazala from GMS London Camp. First and foremost, we want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, and blessings to the hopeful and sincere elect. Bakaya Kodash, that's the holy elect, Baha Ratazar, in and around the four winds of the earth. Greetings, man. It's a quick one on DJ Trump. Trump is on a roll, man. He's moving like a straight tyrant right now. All these new declarations that he's making. Now you got this tariff situation between China, Canada, and Mexico going on, and it's causing nothing but contention and strifes across the world, global stage, economically wise, financially wise, and ultimately this is going to lead to the destruction, the demolition of America, man. Because Esau's trying to start, bring forth his new world order. He's out with the old technology, in with the new, but at the same time, this is ultimately going to bring forth his destruction via the nuclear missiles, man. And even as the scripture says, his own allies are going to turn against him in these last days. Be it as China is supposed to be, one of their main opponents, even though they're supposed to be in league with each other, financially wise, regarding the GDP. I'm not going to go into the figures. Brothers can look up those figures, but it's going to be it's going to backfire basically, man. And even America's so-called allies are going to turn against them. Ultimately, China, Russia, so on and so forth. So yeah, man. Trump is doing an amazing job. Credit to him, man. As soon as he got in office, man, he hit the ball rolling, man. He didn't waste no time, and now he's just moving like a freight train with no brakes, and he's just causing bare hysteria all over the damn place. And ultimately, it's gonna lead, as I said, to the public demolition of the American society, and that's ultimately it's the judgment of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. He's using these devils, man, to destroy their own empire, man. The Lord did say they was going to be caught in their own snare, and they're going to be taken down by their own wicked devices. And one of their devices is that so-called American dollar, man. That's been a device against many nations, to keep nations indebted to the American society. But it's going to backfire, man. And people are not going to regard the gold and silver anymore, and the trash talking is going to come to an end, and the nuclear missiles are going to start flying instead, man. Because all these nations that are drunken on the wine, as it tells you in Jeremiah, drunk of that wine of the filthy fornication of America, their doctrines and philosophies for what they call democracy and all of that. Says now the nations are mad. So now, all these tariffs that, sanctions that America's trying to put on their so-called allies, China and so on and so forth, Canada and Mexico, because, when you look at certain statistics, like regarding the military, apparently Canada and Mexico are not, upstanding and putting any money into their military as much as America does. So they're expecting America to protect them and secure their borders, so to speak, but they're not doing anything in retaliation in regards to these trade deals to help America, basically. So Trump's basically using that as one of the ruses to come down upon the so-called allies, saying that he's gonna increase them tariffs, man. Which all this is basically going into these nations not cleaving on to one another. And I mean, like it tells you in Daniel, the second chapter, regarding the 10 toes, they will not cleave to one another and all that in these last days. So this place is done, man. America's through. You can see it, that America's slowly but surely getting torn down, financially, economically, definitely morally, and all that's left is basically the nuclear missiles, man. That's all that's left for America, man, because all this economic war is going to turn into a physical war, man. That's usually what happens, man. You see, the world wars are usually fought over economics and power struggles, man. So you can see that this is definitely leading in that direction. And I just want to read one or two precepts about the iniquity of thy traffic, which goes into Esau's financial system, man. which is going to lead to them ultimately being destroyed in a nuclear war, World War III. Ezekiel 28:15 says, "Thou was perfect in thy ways from the day that thou was created, till iniquity was found in thee." And this is talking about the wicked cherub or the evil cherub. As the scripture says, it's talking about Esau, Edom, man, It says, "By the multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with violence." It says, and thou hast sinned. It says, "Therefore I will cast thee as out." Salakia, "Therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of the Most High, and I will destroy thee, O covering cherub." It says, "From the midst of the stones of fire." So Esau Edom is that evil cherub, man, that wicked cherub, and he received a blessing, a so-called knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to rule the earth, but he's abused the power, man. He's used the wisdom to abuse it, basically, And knowledge and wickedness is not wisdom, as the scripture says. So these devils are just defile themselves, man, by the multitude of their merchandise, which goes into their financial systems and all that petrodollar, which they use to bemuse and entice these other nations into accepting their demonocracy, man, which they call democracy. And now these nations are fed up, because they're basically financially tied, like China and America are financially tied to one another, It says, "Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness." And that goes into the so-called illuminated ones, man. They call them aka the Illuminati, holders of the light, Lucifer, aka the cabal, the wicked elite, the council of the wicked, man. They're the ones that have corrupted themselves by the wisdom that are by reason of the brightness. Instead of using the wisdom that the Lord gave them to do righteousness, they can't, because they're the seed of the wicked. And the Lord created the wicked for the day of destruction. So this is what Esau has done. He's used his blessing to his perfection, basically, because he's made to be the wicked on the earth. And instead of increasing peace on the earth, he increases nothing but war, death, and destruction, man, because that's his spirit. He can never have enough, and is as death. It says, "I will cast thee to the ground." So the Lord's going to abase these devils, man. They're the basis of men. So they're going to be returning to the basis of men. It says, "I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee." Yeah, and the world beholding Esau, from America, because America's the big global, the golden city, so to speak, upon the whole earth. The harlot that sitteth upon many waters, they sit on the beast system, and they sit above all these different nations, man. Even against their so-called allies and enemies, man. Like China and Russia and so on and so forth. It says, "Thou hast defied thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thine iniquity," which goes into their merchandise. You got these tariffs that's going on right now, and that's part of the defilement. People are recognizing that America's is nothing but a fucking, a debt corporation, man, that people take on to increase debt and basically get uploaded with that thick clay, that that heavy laden thick debt that America, bears. Basically, they have to bear the brunt of it because of America's defilement, man, through their multitude of iniquity with that traffic. The traffic going into their merchandise. It says, "Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries by the multitude of thine iniquities, by the iniquity of thy traffic," which goes into their monetary system, their trade system, and so on and so forth. It says, "Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee, it shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth, in the sight of all them that behold thee." So all this is going to lead to what? A third world nuclear war, where America's going to get slaughtered, man, by even their own allies, so to speak. Because it tells you about the 10 toes are going to hate the whore, Revelation 17:16. And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. Because even Great Britain's getting, going to have to get involved with these tariffs and so on and so forth. And that's going to be, already a bad state for America. I mean, England, because they already left the EU. So you already know they're going to be paying some mad prices for trade and so on and so forth. It's just going to lead to so much fucking chaos, economically wise, that, it's going to be, people are going to be rationing out their food very soon, man. It's going to lead to a great famine, because people are going to get fed up of paying all these high skyrocketing tariffs and prices, man, for goods, you know, to import and export goods. It says, all they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee, and thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be any more. Yeah, and you can read that about Revelation 18, when the Lord said that, you know, that great city, which is basically Babylon the Great, the golden city ceased, like it tells you in Isaiah 14, it's going to be destroyed, man, and all these other nations are going to be lamenting, you know, because they're not going to be able to make any more wealth with the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, man. It's going to be destroyed. So the nation's going to be astonished at the burning of America by way of the nuclear missiles, man. That lake that's going to be smoldering with fire for a long time. Zephaniah 1 and 12 or 11. How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, which is going into who? The marketplace. You can read about that also in Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. You know, it says, how ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, and all they that bear silver are cut off. Yeah, so ultimately all this shit is going to get cut down. You know, it's coming to an end, man. You know, and this is part of the reason why ancient Rome fell, not because of tariffs, so to speak, but because they was, you know, suffering financially, economically wise, and that was the end that led to, you know, the fall of the ancient pagan Roman Empire, whose deadly was healed during the Renaissance period, and then Esau came back, you know, throughout Europe, and then, you know, America was reborn through, you know, Great Britain, so to speak. You know, so this is the second leg of the Roman Empire, but it looks like, you know, they're going down that same road to perdition. But ultimately, the difference is they're going to be taken out by nuclear fire this time, man. America's going to get burnt to a smithereens. There ain't going to be no more Rome 2.0 after this. After this nuclear war, America's not going to be, it's going to be non-existent. You know, pursuant to the scriptures, man. America's going to be turned into a desert. That says Ecclesiastes 9 and 12. It says, for man also knoweth not his time. That's like Esau, man. He doesn't measure the time, man. They don't understand that they're at the latter end. They think they're going to make America great again. But the Lord's got other plans for America, which is nuclear destruction, and ultimately for their leaders to go into slavery. It says, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, it says, and as the birds that are caught up in a snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. Yeah, sudden destruction cometh upon them. And that's exactly what's coming. So all this is that's leading right now. Trump is doing a beautiful job, man. He's leading America down that road to perdition. And before you know it, all hell's going to break loose. You can really see it happening with this migrant situation and all that. Now you got so-called riots and all that between ICE, the ICE people and Hispanic tribes and all that. And then, you know, then basically protesting and rioting against these deportations. And it's only going to lead to more chaos, man. You know, all this is the spin rolling a ball of destruction that's on its way, man. You know, demolition effect and basically a domino effect of all these things are going to culminate to ultimately America being wiped off the face of the earth via those nuclear missiles, man. So you can see America's on its last legs, man. This guy Trump, he's moving off to a good start, man. He's leading America down that path, man. You know, the eighth head that came up out of the seven shall go into what? Perdition, man. So that's what we're hoping and praying for, man. You know, the hopeful elect. 2025 hopefully be the year, man. So anyway, with that, close out. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash, and Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.